to answer a question today. I heard from Nitro LPR9, and I've been wanting to answer, but I decided it'd just be way easier to make a video. And Nitro says, I've never been in a band, but been playing for years, and I know the normal tuning, open notes, E, A, D, G, B, E. And I know the names of most popular chords, but I don't worry about learning the notes on the fretboard. I really don't think I need to because I've memorized the sound that comes from chord shapes and scale patterns. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, I do. That's really what we're going for, is understanding the shapes and the sounds that they make and being able to use that understanding of the patterns and the shapes to get the sound. Because a lot, after you've been playing a while, you hear things in your head before you even play them, and you get ideas and you want to be able to express them. Let's see. So my question is, if I play in a band, then would I need to learn the notes on the fretboard? And the truest answer is it depends. And the bottom line is no. It's actually what we really are going for. Like, for example, we're talking about the well-tempered work. The end result of that, if you do it long enough, is you can hear the music and you can start playing along. And you don't even have to think about what key you're in, or you hear an idea and you can play it. That's what lead guitar players do. Usually they're improvising when you hear a guitar solo in a concert or whatever. Okay, so the bottom line is no. Really, the best way to find your way around is to see the shapes and the patterns and to become familiar with the sounds that they make. And actually, if you're not familiar with the shapes and the patterns and the sounds that they make, just by poking around and playing a couple notes and listening to them and observing how they sound, and when something is shown you or given to you, you're paying attention to the shapes and the sounds. Eventually, I guess there's a lot of paths up to the mountaintop, and you can develop the ability to make the sounds you want to make without knowing what key you're in, without even knowing what chord you're playing or what note you're playing. Okay, so when it comes to music theory and like somebody might say, this song is a 1-6-4-5 chord progression, which means, let's see, if I'm in the key of C, I would play the chord. If I said 1-6-4-5, I would play a C chord, and then I would play a minor chord, and then I would play an F and a G. 1-6-4-5. So a lot of musicians will talk about the song that way, and they will describe the song using music theory, numbers, and you can describe the scale degrees or extra little nuances you add to your chord to make it sound more colorful. But really, I think about this stuff a lot. Really, what that is for, as well as sight reading and writing notes down, what I'm saying is theory and note reading, it's all for musicians to communicate with each other. It's just a way of communicating with each other. And so that's why my answer is it depends. From what you said, Nitro, it sounds like basically you'd be able to play a lot of music without knowing the names of the notes. And I mean, usually if you're playing with a band, you could just play a few chords and they can tell what key you're in. They can figure out what chord you're on, and you can by hearing. So I'm going to say one last thing, and I just love, there's a couple of, actually I'm going to tell you about 3 people. One of them was a student of mine, and 2 of them are professional musicians that Hamp and I have worked with, and they all play by ear, and they all are very good. And I don't want to say they don't know what they're doing, but they know the shapes and the patterns and the sounds they want to make, and they know where to find them. And when I post this lesson, I will look for videos of Kevin Lewis and Butch Morgan. If I find some I like, I'll share them with you. I'm sure they've got to have videos. Although Kevin plays mostly as a bass player. He's based in San Antonio, and he's a very good musician. I would always love to have him, play along with us, and he can just listen and play along. So the way the story goes is Kevin is part of a backup band, a house band that Hamp and I have played with several times. And so we have a quick rehearsal before the event. And because Hamp and I are both formally trained, we'll start talking about the song. We'll say, well, it's a 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression, and it's in the key of whatever. And Kevin will just say, what does it sound like? And then we play the song, and he plays along, and he knows how it goes, and he knows how to make it sound great. And then our other friend, Butch Morgan, he's similar in that he doesn't, he also plays great by ear, and he's a very good band leader and sideman, and he just knows where the sounds are. And I think he knows the names of the chords, but if you talk to him about numbers, he can transpose. He can play the song. You show him the song in one key, and he can play it in any key. But whereas when I'm transposing, I'm thinking numbers, and where he's transposing, he just knows what it sounds like. And when he wants to get the next sound, he knows where it's at, because he's had his fingers all over the guitar for many, many years. And I think he actually already has that, the end result we're talking about when we do the well-tempered work. He's already there for the most part. However, I think the well-tempered work could help everyone to get even better, but that's another story for another day. So I hope that I've answered your questions. Y'all are welcome to ask further questions. So, and the big point, the reason I wanted to really talk about this is because I am classically trained. As a learner, I tend to be the kind where I want to understand why, and I want to know what to do it correctly. And that really does not serve us well when we want to have freedom of expression, and especially if we want to improvise. When you're improvising, you don't have time to think about all that theory. You just have to know the patterns and the relationships and the sounds, like you said, Nitro. So my point that I'm going to end with is that you have to watch out with a teacher like me. When I get into theory and thinking and knowing, there is a danger, and especially in sight reading, there's a danger of it being so cumbersome that you never really get to playing the music. And definitely for people who have ears where you can poke around and find the sounds you want, and you're willing to just play around and discover how to make the sounds you like, that is really, I don't want to say it's better than the knowledge and the theory, but the knowledge and the theory is, like I said before, it's for communicating. Once you get to the playing, you actually want to get where you're not thinking too hard. This is what I'm trying to say. The theory and the notes and all that stuff can get you thinking too hard, and it can be paralyzing. So whenever you don't need to think about the theory, don't think about it. Just know those patterns and shapes, and sometimes you can use your theory slowly to solve a problem. And then when the theory is helpful for learning and developing or communicating with other musicians, then it's helpful. I hope that answers your question, and I will talk to you again next time. Please remember to like and subscribe. That helps keep this whole thing rolling and working. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.